Hey guys, what's going on? It's Matt the Cell Junkie, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the iPhone SE. Yes, I finally got it. As I stated in my last video, I was with the Alcatel Idol 4S with Windows, bugging out a little bit. Really didn't like the experience on that device, so I went back to T-Mobile and I got my iPhone SE. Finally. So I just wanted to do a quick little impression on this and just kind of give you guys my thoughts on it. I've had it for a little over 2 weeks now, and guys, it's night and day comparative to the iPhone 4S that I have another video, a couple other videos on. I mean, it's not even night and day. It's like day versus apocalypse. Is the best way I can describe it. I mean, you've got the A9, you got the M9, you got 2 gigs of RAM, you got the iPhone 6s camera that does 4K. You've got, I mean, all this stuff that makes the iPhone 6s a great phone. Now, granted, by the time, now, months later, we have the iPhone 7, but still, the 6s is still a good device. I'm not gonna knock that by any means, especially when this has the internals of that device. But this phone is actually pretty amazing to me. That it has so much power in such a little form factor. I know you guys know that this was the same body, the same everything from the iPhone 5 and 5S, which I've never had those devices. I'm kind of actually glad that I didn't, because now I get to enjoy all of the goodness that is and was those devices in this phone that, in my opinion, I mean, like I said, it's an amazing device, guys. I mean, even though it's got a couple downsides that some people don't like. There's no touch. There's no 3D touch, which doesn't matter to me. When they came out with that on the 6S, I really didn't give a crap. That's something to me that looks like it's a gimmick, and I don't think anybody really needs it. They just threw it on there to throw it on there. It's got the original 720p capable camera that's on the front. I'm not that big on selfies. I really don't care about that. I mean, for FaceTime and stuff like that, it'll work just fine. Other than that, I mean, it does have an upgrade on the battery. They increased it, I think, by, what was it, 4 or 5%. So it's the guys, the battery life on this is no joke. I've seen other reviews on it. I've seen other not only reviews, but just opinions and articles and everything on this phone before I got it. And they were like, the battery life is amazing, the battery life is amazing. And I can honestly say the battery life is amazing. It can definitely get me through an entire day, with emails, some video watching, YouTube, stuff like that. Yesterday I did a couple drives out doing some stuff, and I had the GPS on, and I know with some of my older devices that I've had, the GPS would suck the battery completely. I mean, it was destroyed. Well, I had the boy going for about 5.5 hours with GPS doing some stuff, and had the location services on, had maps going and everything, and I still came home with 65%. Now, some people will be like, oh my God, 65%. Well, comparative to my other devices that I have and also have had in the past, with the amount that I had on that, I would probably be down to 20 to 30%, depending on the device. And I mean, that's the way it was. With a couple of my last jobs, I had to do a lot of driving. GPS was a part of it, and I would be charging it up halfway through the day because it would be almost on E. So, I mean, with the A9 pushing sub 720p display, now that doesn't mean it's a bad display. It's a good Retina display. But with that, pushing the screen and everything internally, in the slight bump in battery, it has made this phone an amazing device as far as battery life. Now, some people don't like the 4-inch form factor. Myself, I don't mind the smaller form factor like this. Like I said, I had the 4S that I just got rid of. Well, I'm getting rid of. And I mean, it worked fine. As far as the size go, I had that device before, so I knew what to expect. Coming from other larger devices like the Alcatel device I had before this one, the BlackBerry Priv, other stuff like that. It is something you do have to get used to at some point, but at the same time, guys, it's not that bad. All right. Typing on this isn't that bad. Watching videos, YouTube, Hulu, whatever, it's not bad. I don't even really have a complaint on this. This is actually one of the first devices that I've had where I really can't say anything really honestly bad about it. I mean, it's got the current version of iOS. It's got all the internals of the 6S. I mean, I really have nothing bad to say about this device, guys. I honestly think it's a good device. So, I mean, if you're able to get it outright. This is the 16 gig version. The store was actually out of 64 gig in the space gray. And since this is probably the last device they're going to have with space gray as far as iPhones go, I want to go ahead and get a space gray. I didn't feel like going through all the crap of going into another store, finding it, buying it, and all that crap. So what I did was I just went ahead and got the 16 gig. I can live with 16 gig. It doesn't bother me with all the apps and I do a little bit of pictures, a little bit of video. Mostly I have, a decent amount of apps on here. But I mean, I've still got plenty of space to go. I'm not worried about the 4K shooting. When I do that, I'll shoot it. And then after I upload it, I will delete the bitch. It's that easy. But if you can get the 64 gig model, go for it. It's worth the extra money if you need the room. If you don't, get the 16 gig, guys. It's not that big of a deal. If you're buying it outright, I would definitely go with the 64 just because of the resale value of that, because most of the time the 16 gig it will get less, obviously, but it'll actually usually get a little bit less than it would comparative to the 16 or to the 64 gig. So definitely get the 64 gig if you're going outright. If you're going with the carrier and you can go with the 16, go with the 16. But guys, this is just a quick little impressions. I'm gonna do a full review on this bad boy in the coming weeks, just trying to get the feel for it and make sure everything's good on it. But if y'all got any questions, or you want to see something particular about it, or you want to find out about the gaming on it or anything like that, just drop it down in the comments below. Hit that like button, and guys, I'll see you on the next one.